What is good, y'all? Welcome back to the Upper. Welcome back to a brand new video. We are here. We are back with a brand new video for you guys. And listen, man, we're going to be here talking about the Miami Heat's potential starting lineups that they can field out and what lineup is the best for the Miami Heat to use. Make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe, and comment down below. We are less than, I believe, 3 weeks away from kicking off Media Day. So we're very, very close to the start of the preseason, I guess, festivities and stuff like that. So, we got media day, training camp, preseason, all that stuff. So stay tuned. You're gonna have a lot of coverage from me on that. You know, obviously, as you guys know, I've not posted like as much as I normally do, but that's the only reason for that is because there's really just nothing that's been happening out there. So we're kind of in the dead period when it comes to basketball. I do want to say, I watched Thursday Night Football last night. I really do want to say for people, because I know a lot of people on this channel who subscribe to me are Dolphins fans. So prayers up to Tua. You know, Tua, it's really sad to see what happened. But whatever you feel about him, Tua is, you know, somebody who's been really unlucky because of this concussion stuff. So prayers up to him. Hopefully he gets better and hopefully does the best thing for him. I'm not a Dolphins fan personally, but I just did want to say that because I know even if you're not a Dolphins fan, but I know a lot of people are, but even if you're not, you still got to feel for the guy, man. It's really sad what happened. But putting all that aside, coming back to the Heat, we're going to be talking about some of the potential lineups that they can field out, you know, to start the season. Who will start for the Miami Heat? Obviously, you have a shoe-in at both small forward and center. You have Bam and Jimmy, but the rest three are kind of not up in the air. Maybe not all of them are up in the air with the other three, but some of them definitely are. For starters, when you look at the point guard position, Terry Rozier has not been, you know, playing 5-on-5 basketball since he got injured before the series against Boston. I mean, and this was shocking to me. When I read this, I was like, oh my God. It has been since April, and we are in September right now, and Terry Rozier has still not played 5-on-5 basketball yet. He's playing 3-on-3. He hasn't been cleared for 5-on-5, and he expects to be cleared in 2 weeks, but so from his timetable, what that he said, he's probably going to be playing 5-on-5 basketball, you know, when training camp starts. And it's like, that is a long, you know, wait, I guess. We expected Terry Rozier to be, you know, completely ready for the next season. But even now, that's in, you know, danger. That has a question mark attached to it because nobody knows the extent of Terry Rozier's injury. Nobody knows. Some people think that Terry Rozier is just fine. Some people think it's more severe. There was even a report that came out a few months ago where it was talking about a potential career-threatening injury. Like, we don't know. And it's always been the case with the Miami Heat that whenever we have these type of injuries, like, they don't really tell as much. It's not really something that they disclose. I just wish we had more information as to what exactly happened. I know it's a neck injury, but I'm not sure how he sustained it. I'm not sure, you know, what the extent of it is, and I'm not sure what the timetable is for him to actually be back playing 5-on-5 competitive basketball and being ready for the NBA season. So there is a possibility, and I think, you know, we're still expecting him to be ready to go for the season start, but there is a possibility based off of what he said that if he has not played 5-on-5 yet, there is a possibility that he might not be ready for the season. Now, this could just be because he was like, oh, I'm not ready to play 5-on-5. It's a personal decision, or it's maybe because it's the team trying to protect him from himself and not trying to, you know, aggravate any injuries, and especially when during the offseason they don't want him to put on more than he needs to on his load. But regardless of what the reason is, the fact that he has not played 5-on-5 basketball yet and it's already September, the season is only a month away, is kind of concerning, to me at least. So the point guard position, you would have thought it would be Terry Rozier, but who knows? It could be Terry Rozier. It could be Tyler Hero at point guard and Terry Rozier coming off the bench if he's not ready. So I think that is a possibility. You know, there's two possibilities right there. You either have Terry Rozier start at the point guard, or you have Tyler Hero be the, I guess, the in quotes point guard. Like, he's not really a point guard to me, but we don't really have like a solidified backup PG yet. So that's one of the areas that I thought we should have addressed in the offseason. We didn't really do that. I mean, I like Isaiah Stevens, but, you know, regardless of what you feel about Isaiah Stevens or Drew Smith or whatever, like, they're just not ready to start as a point guard for a playoff competing team. So, listen, whoever starts at the PG position, I think it's going to be either one of Terry or Tyler. I don't think Jay Rich is going to be starting there. I don't think anybody else really has a shot to start there. So, I would still expect it to be Terry, but don't be surprised if Terry Rozier is brought back very cautiously and they bring him off the bench at the beginning and that type of stuff. So that is two possibilities right there. I just talked about the small forward position, that's Jimmy Butler. The shooting guard position, again, if Terry Rozier is that point guard, you can go with a ton of guys. You can go with Tyler Hero. You can go with Josh Richardson. You can go with Duncan Robinson. Obviously, Tyler Hero is probably the more likely because, the Heat have kind of shown an unwillingness to bring him off the bench at times. When as soon as his six-man of the year season ended, I don't think they brought him off the bench at all. So I don't think they're going to bring him off the bench again. I think the most likely scenario is for him and Terry to be the backcourt. To me, I'm not a huge fan of that. I think especially the second unit can use some shot creation. So if it were up to me, I would have one of the two coming off the bench. I would not have both of them start. That's just my opinion. But obviously, this is not up to me. It's up to Spo. It's up to the front office what they believe is right. So you could either have Terry and Tyler play same backcourt as last year for 30 games, or what you could do is you can have Terry or Tyler, and then you can have one of either Duncan Robinson or Josh Richardson be the other guard. And I guess my favorite combination would be Terry and Duncan, just because you have Terry's shot creation ability, you have Duncan's off-ball movement, and then Tyler Hero can go back to what his best position, in my opinion, is, where he was the best for the Heat, six man, where he won the award. So, we'll see what happens, but that is kind of the conundrum that they have with the guard position. The small forward position is pretty secure with Jimmy, but the power forward position, when you look at that, that's probably the most tricky position to me, because there's about 3 to 4 options that you can realistically say have a genuine shot at starting as the power forward for the Heat. Obviously, last season, towards the end, Nikola Jovic took on full-time reps as the starting power forward for the Miami Heat. But this season, it could be different. They could go with Jaime Jaquez after his incredible rookie year. They could go with Haywood Highsmith after they just brought him back. They could even go with Khalil Ware, who they just drafted and who has the ability to play next to a guy like Bam Adebayo with his ability to stretch the floor and catch lobs. Khalil Ware could be a good fit at that position as well. Now, listen, what I would do, I would probably still have Jovic start. I think for size purposes, he's not like the strongest or whatever, but he's tall. He's about 6'10". So I would not mind him starting at all. I feel like Jaime Jaquez and Haywood Highsmith are just way too undersized to play power forward for the Heat consistently as a starter. I know Haywood has done it a few times for us, and he's done. I guess he's done it a lot of times, but I don't know. I don't want our forwards to have heights of 6'6", 6'4", and 6'9" or 6'10", whatever Bam's listed height is. I think it's 6'9", or it might be 6'10", but yeah. And for people who are like, well, why don't you have Khalil Ware? Number one, I'm not sure if he's ready. He definitely might be. But there was definitely areas in Summer League, as good as he was, there's definitely areas that he could have improved on with his conditioning, his energy, his motor. Same concerns from Indiana, from Oregon. I feel like he probably isn't ready to take on those many minutes yet, just because I don't think he's conditioned to do that right now. So that's A. A is the fact that I don't think he's going to be able to play, 30 to 40 minutes from day one, and play good minutes. But the second point that I have is that I don't know if I want to go into the season with Thomas Bryant or Kevin Love as the backup center. I feel like Kevin Love was good in spurts last season for us. Thomas Bryant didn't really play too much, and whenever he played, he wasn't great. But the biggest issue, or one of the biggest issues for the Heat, was that whenever Bam Adebayo was off the floor, the team and the defense especially would just fall apart. And I feel like if you have Khalil Ware, just initially just ease him into the whole rotation and bring him off the bench as a backup center to Bam, even if Bam Adebayo is off the floor, I would still trust Khalil Ware to make some of the similar plays defensively. He's not going to be able to switch on to guards as easily and wings and stuff like that, but protecting the rim, he will definitely do. And then offensively, he can provide some stuff as well. So, listen, that's like anyone have to play as many minutes. He could just be like a guy who just comes in, comes in off the bench, and just provides, an additional lob threat, maybe a pick and pop guy if he's able to, make sure his shot is consistent. But I guess that's the biggest reason to me is that just for the team's fit, I would not want to have Khalil Ware and Bam start right now, because I think if Bam Adebayo were to sit at a certain point, if they were to sub him out, or Khalil Ware, it's like, listen, you are losing out on so much with Thomas Bryant or Kevin Love as your backup five. Respectfully to them, I didn't really think all three of them were necessary to be signed. Khalil, Thomas, and Kevin Love. I think Thomas Bryant could have been let go, but yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe they signed Thomas Bryant because they expect to start Khalil Ware at the 4 from day one, and they want to have 2 backup centers to rotate from. So they could easily start Khalil Ware. It wouldn't be a traditional thing that Spoelstra has done. He doesn't really start rookies unless they are top of the top. I guess Kendrick Nunn started for some time, but well, actually, no. Kendrick Nunn started. Kendrick Nunn came off the bench because Goran was starting. But after Goran got hurt for some time, Kendrick Nunn did start. So, yeah, I just don't think it's a Spo thing to just start a rookie from day one, especially if he's not a lottery pick. So I don't see that happening. I mean, it could happen for sure. I feel like Nikola Jovic is probably the best option right now. I mean, again, this is an area that I probably think we should have addressed. We didn't really do much in this department in the power forward area, but I guess they just want want Nikola and Jaime to take internal developments and jumps. Jovic didn't really have the best summer. I mean, he was hurt for some time. Again, I'm not really sure what his injury status is. I think he'll be fine because he played in the Olympics for some time. He didn't look that great because he was in and out of the lineup and stuff, but he was there, but he was hurt for some time. So, listen, as far as on the floor fit, I feel like him and Bam complement each other perfectly, which is why I really like that lineup. And it also gives you another ball handler and playmaker for a team that doesn't really have depth at the point guard position. Terry Rozier is not really a natural point guard. You have Jovic who can handle the ball, bring the ball a little bit, be a facilitator for you if you need one. So I like that synergy of that lineup with Terry, Duncan, Jimmy, Jovic, and Bam. That's the lineup that I would go for. I think it's going to be Duncan for Hero, and it's going to be the same lineup as it was last year. I think that's my prediction. But yeah, you guys let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, man. Who do you guys want to start? I mean, speaking of Jaime Jaquez, I know a lot of people are expecting Jaime Jaquez to make a big jump this year after his really good rookie season. But Jaime Jaquez, to me, like I said about Tyler Hero, I think Jaime Jaquez for this specific team today would be better suited to come off the bench and just give a scoring punch to the second unit. I just feel like the bench doesn't really have too much scoring on it right now. So guys like Tyler and Jaime can be really, really valuable for taking the reins and the control of the second unit. So again, this is just not about who the better players are. It's about, for the team's needs, what makes the most sense. So to me, what I said makes the most sense with Terry, Duncan, Jimmy, Jovic, Bam, and off the bench you could have either Alec Burks, you could have Josh Richardson, you have one of the two, you have Tyler Hero, you have Jaime Jaquez, Haywood Highsmith, and Khalil Ware. I really like that lineup. I understand that you're a little bit thin on size at the power forward and small forward positions, but you're making up for it with a 7-footer and Khalil Ware, a legit big body down low, or I guess lengthy player down low. And again, I think the size of the forwards is definitely a more impactful factor with the starting lineup rather than the second unit. So second unit, you can go a little bit more positionless. Depending on, what you need, you can go with Alec Burks one day. You can go with, Josh Richardson one day. Both of those to me are shooting guards that aren't really point guards to me. Alec Burks is a really good 3-point shooter. Josh Richardson, can be at times, but he's more of a kind of a glue guy. And then obviously Tyler Hero being the microwave. So You guys let me know what you guys think we should do in the comment section below. What do you guys think our best lineup is going to be? And yeah, man, I'll see you later as always. Peace.